You may remember this battery from earlier in the year. This is a Redodo 20 amp hour battery. We tested this in the ice and it actually worked quite well, but unfortunately a 20 amp hour might not be big enough for what you need. So they have a new one that's going to be a drop-in replacement for a tracker boat, a Crestliner, a Ranger aluminum, those type of boats, drop-in replacement that'll run the entire boat and crank over the big motor. Now this is the brand new one. This is a Group 27, yes, a standard Group 27 battery. You don't need to find any special trays for it. It will drop right in so many different boats, just like our Tracker 190 TX here. 100 amp hour battery, rated for Mercury, Yamaha, Tohatsu, Suzuki, Evinrude, outboard motors up to 300 horsepower. Let's talk about how it's working so far on the 115 Pro XS. Okay, let's jump into the Redodo dual purpose battery. I take these dual purpose batteries super seriously because these are gonna be what gets you back to the boat ramp at the end of the day. So I have put quite a bit of time on this on my 2020 Mercury Pro XS 115. I know it's not a 250 like a lot of folks run, but I have had zero issues with it running and the battery being full. So just like everybody else, I'll charge the battery, drop the boat in the water, turn on some electronics and go. And when that thing's going, it is running the big motor and it's fully charged majority of the time, at least on that initial run of the day. And I've not had any issues with it cutting out or anything like that. I've seen some folks with some high voltage spikes, things like that. I have not experienced that at all with any of these dual purpose batteries that I've messed with. So that's been my experience so far, has been great. So let's talk about some of the high level details. Group 27, that's a big deal because a lot of these batteries are either really tiny, like the little 20 amp hour that's back there, or they're Group 31, 140 amp hour dual purpose. So that is a big deal on like smaller boats, like my Tracker 190. It comes with Group 27 size trays, so this is a drop and go. So one thing that you do get with a dual purpose battery, which is pretty unique, is you get, on some of them, or majority of them now, you get, see that little green light there? That's a button. And this button does a couple things for you. The first thing you do is you can turn off the battery. Press and hold it. It is the powers off in 3 to 5 seconds. So that's pretty cool because you don't need a battery disconnect anymore. Or you might not have to have one anymore as far as like just a traditional, hey, I'm leaving the boat overnight, over the weekend, over summer, whatever. You just turn it off and you can turn it back on without needing to jump it or wake it up with a charger or anything like that. That's really cool depending on your application. So know that about some of these dual purpose. You may want one with a button on top. The other thing that does, really the primary function, is it has an energy reserve on it. So it will hold the last 25% of charge as a reserve bank. You know, it's your gas light, whatever it is, which is overall a good thing. A lead acid will run itself into the ground until it's dead. You go to click, 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 and it does nothing. This one will help at least let you know where things are at so you don't get too far out of whack. You're sitting there listening to your radio or whatever. You don't want to wait till it's dead to find out that it has no more energy in it. So you do have to go back and hit the button, or you can use it in the app. We'll show the app here in a minute to turn things back on and get that remaining 25%. Okay, so we do have some LED indicators. Always green is normal. I've noticed mine, it just stays on forever. Eventually it will turn itself off. You can turn it off. Flashing green is in energy reserve mode. Alternating flashes red and green. It's in some sort of protection state, which is over temperature, low temp, short circuit, overcurrent, low voltage. And then on red, you've got an issue. It's no bueno. You better call someone for that. But it is nice to have that quick visual, right? You're out on the water, maybe you don't have your app hooked up or whatever. Something's going on. You can look at the battery, see what's going on. You at least have some information, which is really, really nice. Speaking of information, self-heated. Awesome if you fish in really cold conditions. These batteries will not accept a charge below freezing. A lot of them will just turn off charging, but this one has it has a heating grid in it basically, and when you apply a charge to it, it will heat up the cells in 30 minutes or so and allow a charge again. So if you're in those really, really cold conditions and you're out there wanting to use your cranking battery, you can do that with one of these that is self-heated. Not all of them are self-heated. Pay attention to that for sure. I don't think the little guy over there is 20 amp hour. Does not say self-heated on that. So just know that. Let's go ahead and go into the app. There's some additional functionality that you get out of that button when you link the battery up with the app. So I've got 2 batteries here. I've got the 100 amp hour, so it's showing 80% SOC as I'm sitting here, 84 amp hours on it. If we jump over to the device controls, which is, hopefully you can see that. No, probably not. Where this is gonna play is two different things. One is the discharge function. So you can cut off the battery like a battery disconnect switch, but you can toggle the battery reserve mode. So like I said, it'll automatically cut out in 25%, and you can turn off the battery as well. I'm not sure what the difference between turn off and discharge function is. I guess you can still charge it when you have the discharge turned off, but that's some of the functionality that you get out of the app. The app has been really good. Some of them are really laggy. They don't give you live information. I've not had any issues with it whatsoever. So what I will do from here, I will put some links down in the description for you if you want to check out the 100 amp hour, which is this guy, or the 140. If you have a Group 31 tray, you want a little more capacity, 140 amp hour will do it for you as well. If you found this helpful, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you on the next video.